All right, you guys. Hey, welcome to World Views and Wanderlust. Another day, another dollar spent. So, this is day 3 in our Egypt journey. Okay, so day 3 was Aswan and Abu Simbel. The journey started at 4:30 a.m. We had a driver come pick us up on the West Bank at our hotel. Nice man. He was telling us all about his life, about, how he's had that same car for 30 something years. Anyway, he was talking about how everybody knew everybody. Well, he knew everybody on the West Bank of Luxor, west of the Nile. And then I brought up that I had bought a video from the hot air balloon adventure, and the guy said that I was going to get it by the end of the day, but I don't know if the guy technically knew my information. I mean, we talked to him the most once we got to the site, so I think he knew my last name, but when I gave him the money, we got pushed in the van so quick from the landing site to where I'm like, I just got for my little $25. So I told the driver that. He's like, I know everybody, so I'll find out and I'll get you your video. I'll get the video to you. I was like, okay. So he took us to the port, and there was what do they call them boats? I forgot what they call them boats. I'll probably think about it and put it up here. Ferry boat to cross over the Nile to get to our real private driver. And it was crazy because we got off of that ferry boat and had to step onto another boat, walk across it, step off of that boat onto another boat, walk across it, and then step up onto the dock, which Sam was like, what in the world is going on? I knew that was going to happen, but he didn't know, so he was like, dog ears up. Anyway, so then we got with our driver, and we headed off to Aswan. And that was supposed to be a 6-hour drive, 6-hour drive. Anyway, it's like I said, it's 4:30 in the morning. So we got some footage of the drive, which I'll add here.
Me was wearing the same thing. The light blue shirt and the dark blue pants.
Glamorous and sexy. Not that.
We're going through, you know, town after town after town. And then we stopped like maybe 4 hours in at a gas station and used the bathroom, stretched our legs, got some more water. And then we continued on. We got to Aswan, I wanna say somewhere around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Because we left there, it was about 2 o'clock p.m. that we left there. And then in the Abu Simbel, we were told to pay an entry fee. And according to Get Your Guide, the entry fee was supposed to be included. But we went on ahead and paid the entry fee to enter into Abu Simbel. Also, what was included was lunch. But I'll get to that in a minute. So we paid to get into Abu Simbel. As soon as we got into Abu Simbel, immediately we're bombarded with different vendors. Come see my shop when you come out. You know, my name is this. Come see my shop. I'm shop number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And we made it through that. Then we had to pay extra for a golf cart ride, because when you arrive at Abu Simbel, you're on the back side of it. So getting on the golf cart, he drives you around, because there's like a drive or a sidewalk, I should say, that goes all the way around. So he drives you around and boom, you see Abu Simbel.
Outside.
And he gave us the history of Abu Simbel and, you know, about, you know, Abu Simbel is, well, Ramses II was a conceited pharaoh. He put his stamp on everything. He put his stamp on the Temple of Karnak. He put his stamp on everything. So when the way that we came around Abu Simbel, we were on the Nefertari side, and that is Ramses II, Nefertari, Ramses II, Ramses II, Nefertari, Ramses II. There's 6 statues. Even though it's for her, only 2 of them is her. The other ones is him. The other 4 is him. And then each one has a kid on each side, because she had 12 kids by Ramses II. Now, Ramses II, I know this is not a history lesson, but I'm just gonna say it. So Ramses II had like 100 and something boys or kids, and their tombs was found in the Valley of the Kings in Luxor. But we didn't get to go into that one. But anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, so we took a lot of pictures. We went inside the tombs. He told us about the history. And for some reason, all of these guides say the same thing. We can't go inside with you. So we're going to tell you about what's going on the outside. And then you go inside and you do your thing. Go look at it, take pictures of it, whatever you're going to do. So we did that. We came out. He gave us like 45 minutes to do it all. Then he gave us then when we came out of the Ramses side, the one with the 4 statues on it, he gave us that history before we went over there. Then when we came out of there and took all of the pictures that we were gonna take and came out of there, then he gave us the story on the Nefertari side. And he also told us that, you know, Nefertari was his bottom girl, you know, his favorite wife. But he had 60 of them. Less, you don't have 100 and something kids, you got 60 wives. So anyway, he told us about the Nefertari side. We went inside Nefertari tomb and then came out. And then we got on a golf cart. The drivers of the golf carts is not the tour guides, but we met up with him right as we're going around. The golf cart guy stopped, let us take pictures, because from there across the water you can see Sudan, another country in Africa. So you can see Sudan. So we took pictures in front of the water with Sudan in the background. I'll show them pictures now. Then after we left there, of course, we got bombarded with more coming to my shop. But there's like a little museum type room with good air conditioning, but a room with all of these history lessons and maps and stuff like that all around the walls. You just walk around all around the walls, and it's got some information about Abu Simbel. Like, thus the name had nothing to do with the pharaohs. It's something, anyway, you look it up. Anyway, so then we had to go through the vendors. We bought a couple of things, and this is the thing, because I buy keychains and refrigerator magnets. This is what I do everywhere I go, all day, every day. I never pay more than $10 for a good refrigerator magnet and a keychain. So I picked out a keychain. I wanted a keychain and refrigerator magnet that said Aswan or Abu Simbel on it. I picked out maybe 2 magnets, 2 keychains, and he wanted like $50 for it. I said, I wanted to throw it at him, like, you got me completely messed up. And then so I was like, here, take your stuff back. And then, you know, he goes through that whole, okay, how about $40? How about $30? And he goes down. Then he was like, well, what do you want to pay for it? I said, $1. You know this stuff is made in China. $1. Like I told you before, in Egypt, the minimum wage right now, October 2025, is $147 a month. $147 US dollars a month. So imagine selling them keychains for $50 to one person. Now somebody else might have paid that. No. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, we left and Sam bought some stuff. I wasn't really caring to do that, but I think I got I went to a different vendor and I got them keychains for $1 and the magnets for $1. Anyway, then after that, our driver was around the building and he took us to lunch. He got lunch as well. But the lunch was pretty interesting, and I'll show a picture of that here. I don't know what this food is called, but it was tasty. For some reason, their foods, it's not that they're bland and don't have flavor like Italy. It's more concentrated. So it's almost like if you had like chicken bouillon paste, concentrated, super concentrated. Really a lot of seasonings in it. So I can't say that their food is bland. Some of the food over there is really highly concentrated with seasoning. But in any case, the thrill of the day is about to happen. It's about maybe 3 o'clock when we leave Aswan, because we had lunch in like downtown Aswan after we left Abu Simbel. We had lunch in downtown Aswan. So on the drive back, of course, I got the bubble guts. Why are you surprised? So I was like, get me to the nearest gas station so I can use the restroom. So I'm like about to explode. So I decided to take a nap. Obviously, we had been driving for about 2 hours before he found a gas station. So we finally go to the gas station. I use the bathroom. It wasn't as bad as I thought. But when my stomach started curdling, I thought that I was gonna die. I was like, oh my God, I got a stomach ache. But anyway, so after we went to the restroom, he filled up or whatever, and we started on our way again. We were, if everything would have went according to plan, we would have got back to the hotel about 9 p.m. Well, as we were driving, once it got dark, there's stations along the drive where it's like a police, a guard gate type thing, or a guard post where you have to stop. He has to show his driver's license, and then I guess he got some kind of why we are on this road type paperwork or whatever. And so that happened all the way there, and it happened going back. But this time going back, we passed a few of them in the daylight, but then once it got dark, we got to this one point which I thought we were like almost there, almost back to Luxor. And the police was like, okay, we need to see their passports. And I'm thinking, well, how do you know we even carry our passports, even though we did? But I'm like, how do you even know that we carried our passports? But the police took our passports, and they were gone with our passports for a long time. I mean, 15 minutes. The driver kept getting out of the car. And at first, because the stops were more longer than they were when we were going to, I was thinking maybe his driver's license is expired, or maybe his tags are expired or something, because they keeping us for 2-3 minutes. Sometimes they tell us to pull over, and all these other cars is going through, but they have him pull over. And at one point they had him pull over to the side, and then when he got back in the car, he turned around and went back the way we was coming. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then he turned down a dirt road, and we went down this dirt road for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, looking at my watch, like, we ain't gonna make it back to no Luxor at no 9 o'clock. So I got my phone out, and I'm starting to look on the map, like, what's going on? Now, mind you, our driver does not speak English, but whenever he has to say something to us, he has a phone translator where he says something, then he gives the phone to us, and it'll play it. And then we'll say something on it, and then we'll give the phone back to him, and he'll play it. So it was going back and forth like that the whole day. But when he kept getting stopped, and then we got turned around, and we go down, we get to another town, and then we turn and start going towards Luxor on a 2-lane highway type thing, a little bit narrower type road. We get to another police standoff. Then he got to turn around and go back the way that we just came, but instead of turning when we were going and we got stopped and then turned around, and then he went this way. We got to that town and then he went this way. Those police stopped us at the thing. We went back this way, but we passed the street that we had came down, and we just kept going this way. So on that road, he gets on his phone and finally tells us what's going on. And he's saying that they've got a bunch of bad guys, like pirates or whatever, to a ship, some bad cartel type people that they fear for our safety. And they said it is safer for us to go a different way because it's dark, completely dark down the road that way. And they can just come out of anywhere and, try and rob us or whatever it takes, or whatever they gonna do or whatever. And I'm sitting up here like, you know how we are. I wish I would, So I was like, okay, fine. So he continues to drive. We get stopped again. And I think in all, we probably got stopped at those police. Some of those police stops, he had to pay them. So I want to call it like a toll gate, or maybe it's some bribery money. I don't know what's going on, but I ain't never had to give no police some money. But he was paying them. And so I think, like I said, all in all, going to, we probably got stopped 4 times. But going back to Luxor, we probably got stopped about 9 times. And when we finally made it back to Luxor, made it back to our hotel. Now, normally he was supposed to, if we would have got there at 9 o'clock, he would have dropped us off at the dock, and we would have had to take one of those ferry boat rides back over to the west side of the Nile. But he drove us all the way to the door. So we gave him, I think we gave him like, I want to say $1,000. Well, not $1,000, but 1,000 Egyptian pounds, which wasn't much. I think that's around, I want to say $10. No, it was like a little, it was less than $20. I think it was less than $20. It was 1,000 Egyptian pounds. So we gave him that as a tip. And then, but by the time we made it to our hotel, he drove us all the way to our hotel. It was 2 o'clock in the morning from all of those detours. So at this point, we missed our bus that was going to take us to Hurghada, to the Red Sea. So I'm like, I'm done. Call the taxi cab dude and tell him to take us to the airport. Sam called the taxi cab dude, which I'm gonna put right here. And we get to the airport, and there's police at the airport. At the door, they want to see our ticket. I'm like, we don't have a ticket. We plan on buying a ticket inside the airport. He was like, you can't come in the airport without a ticket. Say what? Frustration. You know that frustrated dance you do where you like, how can I get a ticket if I can't get inside the airport? You can't buy a ticket unless it's, I think, I want to say 4 hours before the flight, but the flight was leaving, mind you, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. The flight was leaving at 6 a.m. So it's too late to buy the ticket online. So our taxi cab driver, he says some stuff in Arabic to the police. The police is saying something in Arabic back to him. And he's kind of like, you know, trying to calm me down at the same time, speak to me in English and try and calm me down, but he's talking in Arabic. And you know how it is when you standing there and people are talking in a different language and you don't know what's going on, so you like getting more, you just bubbling. So finally he says he's calling the ticket agent that doesn't come to work until 8 o'clock in the morning. He's calling him at home in the bed and making him get up. And he's going to get our tickets from his computer at home. And then, mind you, the tickets were supposed to be, like I said, like $300. That's how much the tickets was to get from Cairo to Luxor. So going back from Luxor to Cairo, they were supposed to be like $300. That's what we planned. It was what we anticipated. But like I said, they did some talking, and I don't know what's going on, but he ended up telling us, okay, the tickets are going to cost you $50 a piece in US dollars. And we paid the police the $100. And he said you might want to give him a little, you know, a little something on the side. I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling all of this, but this is what happened. So, in any case, the ATM was inside the airport. So he allowed Sam to go inside the airport to the ATM, which you could see the ATM from where we were, from the door. So Sam went inside the airport, got some money out the ATM. And now, mind you, everywhere we went, everybody used cards. Everybody. Vendors, everybody used cards. The only time you need cash or Egyptian pounds is when you're like dealing with the beggars or the vendors or something off of the street. But other than that, all the stores, all the vendors all have credit card when you use your own debit card, credit card, or whatever. Pay for it. So we really didn't need any cash, but we had a heck of a lot of Egyptian pounds. Because still, we just had a lot. So to make a long story short, we got the tickets, gave the police a little extra, and we got inside the airport and got back to Cairo. Day 4 of the Egypt trip, it was just a free day where we could just explore. But I am going to tell you about the hotel when we got off of the plane in Cairo. That's the next video.